All right. What's up, man? Back again. Back for another hip hop cassette tape dig video. Of course, this is your host, Killer Tapes 93. So you can see the stack here. So let's go ahead and get started, man, because I definitely need to knock this out, man. First up, man, we got Beat Street original motion picture soundtrack. This was released back in 1984 on Atlantic Records. It was produced by Harry Belafonte and Arthur Baker. So, as you know, original motion picture soundtrack, basically a compilation of various artists, and the Beat Street soundtrack featured artists such as Melly Mel, The System, Africa Bambaataa, Soul Sonic Force, Juicy, Jazzy J, Treacherous 3, among others. And this is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite hip hop movie, motion picture, but Beat Street. But here we have the soundtrack on cassette. Very happy to have that one, man. All right, let's move on, man. Next up, we've got Be Legit, Trying to Get a Buck. Be Legit, The Savage. The Clicks, Be Legit, The Savage. Trying to Get a Buck. This was Be Legit's debut solo project. It dropped back in 1993 on Sick With It Records. It was produced by Studio Tone. Be Legit is an MC out of Vallejo, California. And this album, of course, had features from E40, Little Bruce, and Mac Sean. And I want to say this is an OG press because it does have on the dank side number 4, or actually number 5, Fucking Get Up. And I believe Mac Sean is featured on that joint. If you can, I highly recommend that you try and get the OG press for this, because Fucking Get Up is a great track. And the OG press for Be Legit, Trying to Get a Buck, is not that expensive, man, to get your hands on. So try and get that one. But glad to have that on my cassette collection. And moving on, we have some more Be Legit, man. This is Be Legit with Hempin' Ain't Easy. It was released back in 2000. It was Be Legit's third project. It was released on Koch Records. It had production from Be Legit himself. Ant Banks produced. Daz Dillinger produced. Studio Tone, Tone Capone, Bosco, and Sam Bostic, among others, produced for Hempin' Ain't Easy. The single off the album was Hempin' Ain't Easy, the title track. And I was able to pick this up sealed. I think I got this for about $10, man. But it also had features from Lavity, Snoop Dogg, E40, D-Shot, Little Kiki feature is on here. Corrupt from Dog Pound, Mac 10, Richie Rich, and the Mossy, man. So we got Be Legit, man, with Hempin' Ain't Easy, sealed cassette. Very happy to have it, man. Next up, man, let's keep it going. We got some Eazy-E. First of all, R.I.P. Eric Wright, man. But this would be Eazy-E. I want to say this is the second EP he would drop in his career. It's on Dr. Dre 187 Killer. This is actually a special edition from Sick Records. It's got an Obi strip on it, and the cassette tape shell is actually all red, if you can see it in there. But Eazy-E, it's on Dr. Dre 187 Killer. It was released on Ruthless Relativity Records, produced by Rhythm D, DJ Yella, and Cole 187. Dr. Jam and Madness for Real had production on it. The singles from the album were Real Motherfucking G's and Any Last Words. And of course, Eazy-E was an MC out of Compton, California. And I'm very happy to have this on cassette. Sealed cassette. Next up, man, we got one of my favorite MCs, of course, Edo G. I guess this was a release where I'm not going to say he dropped the Bulldogs, but I guess he started his releases were just under Edo G. There was no longer Edo G and the Bulldogs. This was Edo G, The Truth Hurts. It was released back in 2000. It had features from Black Thought, Casual, Guru. Had production from DJ Premier, DJ Spinna, Knots, and Pete Rock also chipped in on production on here. And I want to say this is Edo G's 4th project. And of course, Edo G, MC out of Boston. I got this from Redline Music Distribution, and I think this is a special edition cream colored cassette shell version, but it's a repress. Very nice looking though. All the music's intact, and very happy to have it on cassette, man. So let's keep it going because I've got some more Edo G. This is Edo G featuring Pete Rock, My Own Worst Enemy. This was released back in 2004 on Fat Beats. It had production from Pete Rock, of course, and I think Diamond D chipped in on 1 or 2 joints, and Pete Rock did the rest. This is also a special version red colored tape shell, and I got this from the same site, which is Redline Music Distribution, and it's sealed, and I'm very happy to have it, man. Pete Rock, one of my favorite producers. Edo G, one of my favorite MCs, and collaboration with Edo G and Pete Rock, man. You gotta have that in your collection, man, in my opinion. So let's get these stacked up and let's move on, man, because next up we've got E40 with Federal. I want to say this released back in 1993. It was E40's solo debut, as far as like a full studio album. Released on Sick With It Records. It was produced by Studio Ton, and of course E40 MC out of Vallejo, California. Most may probably have heard of or know E40 from being from the group The Click. And this is an OG press that I'm very, very proud of. If you take a look, it contains the track Tangy Part 2, number 7 on the Mob side. Then on the Gangsta side, you've got Rasta Funky Style, man. I would recommend that if you ever pick this album up, to try your best, man, to get the OG press for this, whether it's the CD or cassette, because the reissue that Jive did for this is just horrendous, man. It's a disaster. They cut tracks off the album, and the ones that they did leave, they're like, the music is remixed on them, and it just equals something horrible, man. But this is E40 Federal, OG press. Glad to have this back in the cassette collection, man. Let's move on. All right, next up, man, we got Group Home with Living Proof. And this dropped back in 1995, and it was their debut on Payday Records. It was produced by DJ Premier, Guru, Jazz O, and Group Home was a 2-man rap group, and they were Malachi the Nutcracker and Little Dap. The singles that came from this album were Super Duper Star. And I highly recommend Superstar. I highly recommend this album on any format you can get it on. If you can find all the formats, get them all. That's how much I love this album. But Group Home, man, living proof. And I want to say they were out of Brooklyn, New York, man. And that is a must-have for my collection, and I'm glad to have it. Next up, man, we got IMP with IMP Dogs, man, featuring Cougnut. IMP is a rap group out of San Francisco, California, the Bay Area. This was their 1990 debut EP. The group consisted of Cougnut, of course, lead MC, C-Fresh, DJ Ill Chill, Hitman Stinge, and MC Louie Lou, man. And this is an absolute Bay Area classic. I was able to score this one sealed. I want to say this is going to be on... I thought it was Intermittent Records, but I guess not, man. But very hyped to have this on. Very hyped to have this EP sealed. I want to say I got this from Instagram, man. I want to say Herman Lau. The dude is just amazing, man. If you have an Instagram, search up Herman Lau, man. The dude has amazing product for sale. This is just an example of what he's got for sale, man. But check him out. IMP Dogs, man. Bay Area classic. Lucky to have that. All right, next up, man, we got Lost Boyz with Legal Drug Money. This was the group's 1996 debut. It dropped on Universal. It had production from Cheeks himself, Mr. Cheeks, Pete Rock, Easy Mo B. This album had about 5 singles come off of it. Jeeps, Lex, Coupes, Beamers, and Benz, Renee, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, Music Makes Me High, and Get Up. For those who don't know, Lost Boyz, rap group out of South Jamaica, Queens, consisted of Mr. Cheeks, of course, Freaky Ta, R.I.P, Spig Nice, Hold Your Head, and Pretty Lou, man. And it's just another one, man, that I'm crazy about having in the collection, man. I never owned this on cassette, so happy to have it, man. Lost Boyz, Legal Drug Money. All right, next up, man, the classic, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. This was Slick Rick's solo debut. Dropped back in 1988 on Def Jam Columbia Records. I want to say that it had production from Jam Master Jay, Slick Rick himself, and the Bomb Squad had production on this. The singles that came from the album were Teenage Love, Children's Story, and Hey Young World. If you didn't know, Slick Rick was a British-born MC, but raised in the Bronx, New York, and that would be the borough he would claim, man. Slick Rick, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, man. If you don't have this album in your collection in some form, then I don't really think that you have a collection, man, until you get that. All right, next up, man, we got Too Short, The Player Years, 1983 to 1988. This was a double album, or this is a double album. It released back in 1993. This was originally on Intermittent Records, and this is the Intermittent Records cassette tape press. I was able to score this sealed for like $5, man. Basically, what this is a collection of Too Short recordings that he made in the early years in the Bay Area from, of course, 1983 to 1988. And even more so, all the joints from this album, they're like from his first 3 projects that he ever put out on cassette only, that were never reissued. I don't even think they were on CD at the time, but they were the albums Don't Stop Rapping, Players, Raw Uncut, and X Rated. All those 3 early albums of Too Short are put onto this to make a double album. So therefore you have Too Short, Greatest Hits Volume 1, The Player Years, 83 to 88. Caught this for $5. This is an absolute Bay Area classic, and it's sealed. And I'm just more than happy to have this, man. Too Short at his earliest, before the West Coast really had their sound. Bay Area at that. This contains the hit Girl, Cocaine, That's Your Life. And that's kind of all you really need to know about this, man. But if you're a diehard Short fan, I would say pick this up in some form. It is available on CD as well. Next up, man, we got some more Too Short with Shorty the Pimp. This released back in 1992. It was Too Short's 7th project on Jive Records. It had production from Too Short himself, Ant Banks, Dwayne Wiggins of Tony Tony. Some of the singles off it were In the Trunk and I Wanna Be Free. This is a must-have release from Too Short, man. In the Trunk, like I said, I Wanna Be Free, No Love from Oakland. I mean, every song on here is fire. But very happy to have this back on cassette in the collection. Too Short, Shorty the Pimp, man. All right, next up, man, we got Warren G with Take a Look Over Your Shoulder, Reality. This was released back in 1997. It was Warren G's 2nd project. It was on his own label, G-Funk Entertainment, Def Jam. I want to say it was fully produced by himself, Warren G. The singles from the album were I Shot the Sheriff, Smoking Me Out, and What's Love Got to Do with It. And of course, Warren G is an MC out of Long Beach, California, man. Warren G, Take a Look Over Your Shoulder, Reality on Def Jam, G-Funk Entertainment. I think I got this for like $2, man. And so I figured, why not pick it up? Glad to have it. All right, man. Last up, we've got Dub C and the Mad Circle, Ain't a Damn Thing Changed. This was the group's 1991 debut. It was on Priority Records. It had production from Crazy Tunes, R.I.P, Sir Jinx, Dub C himself, Chili Chill, and I guess there was only one single from this album, and it was called Dress Code, man. And this was something that I had been needing to get back in the cassette tape collection, and I finally done it, man. I think I caught this for like $5 online somewhere, but it's in great condition, man. I'm happy to have it. I love this album. This is like top 10 on my favorite West Coast albums for sure. And those who don't know, those who might not know, Dub C and the Mad Circle was a rap group consisting of course, Dub C himself, Big G, Coolio, and DJ Crazy Tunes, of course, R.I.P, and they were out of Los Angeles, California. And I highly recommend this album if you haven't heard it, or I highly recommend you put it in your collection if you have heard it and just haven't got around to it, man. But one more stack to go on the cassettes, man, and then it's time to move on to either the vinyl or the CDs, man. I haven't made up my mind yet, but until next time, man, this has been your boy Killer Tapes 93, and I will see you soon.